Secretary.
Thank you so much, Governor. It's so fun being here. I just was, with this group, we were back and we were talking and just visiting, and they were telling me how they ran for student council, and it was exciting, and they were, some of them are a little hesitant to go to middle school next year, but I know they're all going to just excel wherever they go because this is a great group of students. So Governor Reynolds, thank you so much for your gracious introduction and for having me here today to visit with the Denison Monarchs. This is pretty exciting. As some of you know, President Trump told me that I would succeed as the Secretary of Education when I had worked myself out of a job. It's a little bit different job description when you take on a new role. But his vision isn't about me or one position. It's about you. It's about the students. It's about what's going on here. It's breaking up the education bureaucracy in Washington, D.C., a system that we found that enriches adults while stifling progress for students, and returning responsibility for educating children to the states to unleash a new era of excellence. Over the past few months, I've visited dozens of states, spotlighting how innovation can flourish when decisions are made locally by leaders who know their students best. As Governor Reynolds illustrated, Iowa is living proof of this. While National English Language Arts proficiency for third graders stagnated or declined nationally last year, Iowa's jumped by double digits, up 11 points in just 1 year. That's really commendable, Governor. Science proficiency in your schools rose across all tested grades, rebounding significantly since pandemic losses. And nearly 56% of Iowa schools rank in the top 3 performance categories on state assessments, which is up 46% from last year. And that is remarkable. And how'd you do that? And it's pretty simple. If you really boil it down, leaders like Governor Reynolds and Director Snow identified the needs of their state and put proven solutions into action, such as personalized reading plans and evidence-based literacy instruction, along with the science of reading. And I've been witnessing that firsthand this morning in several different classrooms. You didn't just envision change, you didn't just talk about it, you did it. And that's why today we have exciting news. I am thrilled to announce that Iowa is leading the nation as the first state approved for the Returning Education to the States waiver, a groundbreaking first step that gives state leaders more control over federal education dollars. Iowa now has the flexibility to cut paperwork and simplify 100% of state activities funding streams. It can invest in proven strategies to build a world-class teacher pipeline, close achievement gaps, and open post-secondary opportunities to prepare for a great career. Nearly $8 million over 4 years will break free from bureaucracy at the state and local levels and instead focus directly on supporting students who deserve it. Less than 2 months after we encouraged states to act, Iowa was the first in the nation to officially apply for this waiver after first laying out its innovative vision in the spring of 2025. And just this week, Governor Reynolds continued her commitment to education freedom by announcing Iowa's participation in a new federal education freedom tax credit program, which she mentioned, which will start in 2027. This is a momentous step to break away from top-down mandates and expand school choice. And I know how hard Governor Reynolds worked for school choice over 2 terms, really battling to get it through, but she did it. This is a way to allow families to tailor their child's education to what best suits them. Time and time again, Governor Reynolds and Director Snow have proven that they put Iowa students first. Thank you for setting a standard of leadership that inspires the entire nation. And there's more good news. Iowa has also been approved as an EdFlex state, which allows them to grant districts waivers from certain federal requirements without first having to submit requirements to the department. This approval cuts through federal red tape, eases compliance burdens for districts, and empowers them to implement strategies that best meet the needs of their students. Because, as the governor said, it's not one size fits all for education. And this is just the beginning. I'd also like to thank Governor Reynolds, Director Snow, and their teams for bringing concerns from district leaders about the reporting burdens they face to federal programs, because if we don't hear and we don't know, we can't make change. We are committed to reviewing all reporting requirements and compliance burdens across the Department of Education. We know that one size all, as I mentioned, mandates fail. States should lead, and Washington should support their sound approaches and get out of the way. That's why the Trump administration is granting Iowa this flexibility, and we hope that as we partner with congressional leaders to return education to the states, we can work with them to expand these opportunities for states and local leaders to run their education systems. From building the first electronic digital computer to revolutionizing agriculture with hybrid corn, Iowa students have a proud legacy for problem solving. And now we need to carry that tradition forward. When solutions are designed for students, the Trump administration stands ready to help to ensure their success. With greater freedom and flexibility to develop effective educational practices for students, schools become places where potential roars to life. And what I saw here was kids having fun, enjoying being in the classroom, interacting with each other. Teachers, being probative with their questions that are causing them to think. And I was watching one teacher in a classroom. She asked a question. Students started answering. This was a small table of kind of one-on-one instruction. And she didn't let the students answer right away. She says, no. Talk to your neighbor. Discuss this. Tell me what each of you are thinking. And then she came back to get their response. I think there was like this guy Socrates that did a lot of stuff like that. So it was kind of fun really watching that in the classroom. Inside these walls, students develop strength and skills through the right teaching and support, preparing to step forward as monarch lions, bold, fearless, and ready to conquer new horizons. It's my honor to turn the floor back to your outstanding governor, my friend, who will share more about this exciting waiver. And thank you again, Governor, for having me here today, and I appreciate being welcomed to the Hawkeye State.